Hi everyone, how are you all? My name's Leanne Sheargold. So I am a healer, a channeler. I have my own team of guides. Uh, I also have fairies, unicorns, Pegasus, dragons. So I have a range of spirit guides and also different elementals that make up my team. I also have a connection to the elements as well, so air, water, earth and fire as well. So I wanted to come on live today to speak to you about how you can start communicating with your spirit guides and starting to build up that bond with them as well. So if you can imagine at the moment that you have your connection is like a thin piece of string, like a gold ribbon, but a very narrow, thin. And that's what connects you to your guides. So at the moment it's quite thin, and maybe you might feel that wobble of communication where you sort of get those gut feelings or that knowing. But we want to change that into like a plumbing that's quite open and hollow so that the communication can flow freely through that from your guides to you and from you back to your guides. So I wanted to come on and share some different ways that you can start working on at home to develop and build that communication bond. Right, so the first thing is just to start talking to them throughout the day. Ask your guides for help. Tell them your worries and your concerns. Ask them any questions. So it's just, you're not going to hear the answer like you're talking to someone on the telephone though. An answer will come to you, but it's like calling them in, letting them know that you want their help, that you want to talk to them and talk about what's happening in your life. And then, so that's the first step. Then from there is to answer your questions and to show you that they're around is synchronicities will start to happen. And so synchronicities can come in a whole range of different ways. So one of them might be you've asked them a question and then you're driving to work or driving to school and a song comes on, and maybe it's the name of the song or particular words in the song, and that's answering your question that you asked them, and you'll know it's answering your question because you'll get like that tingles all over. Another synchronicity is that you might be, someone on the TV might speak words that's answering your question, or maybe a person that you're speaking to, or you're reading a magazine or a book or something else, and you know that's your answers as well. So all these synchronicities start to happen. Maybe they're already happening in your life, but you just haven't put it together, you haven't recognized it. Another way is that your guides will give you signs that they're about and they're supporting you. For me, it's seeing feathers. So I, throughout the day, will see numerous different types of feathers, and they'll be different colours, different sizes, different lengths. Other people have mentioned as well that coins, that when they notice coins, that's a sign from their guides. I haven't felt that as much. For me, it's more the feathers. Another way that your guides talk to you is through number patterns. So you might wake up at the same time every night between 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock. So lots of people say, and there's the old wives' tales, that 3 o'clock is the witching hour. So just sort of noticing what time it is when you're waking up. Maybe your guides are trying to speak to you if it's around that 3 o'clock. But also to recognising the patterns. So I seem to always pick up my mobile phone and it's 11:11 or it's 1:11. So I'm seeing the repeated ones, or I'm seeing repeated 4s or 5s. And these repeated patterns of numbers are also another way that your guides are communicating with you. And if you actually go onto Google and type in angel number meanings, and you put your number in, and it will actually tell you what that number represents, what's the message that your guides are trying to tell you as well. And just really, it's like once you become aware of these techniques, you'll be noticing them everywhere. Okay, and then the next way that you can start communicating with your guides is actually through mindfulness, meditation, or breathing techniques. for me personally, I love meditation. And that was really how I started to build a bond with my guides. Is just, for me, I really like to have a nice atmosphere. So I'd light the candles. I'd find a nice song on YouTube that was very calming and resonated with me. Usually that was more like the drumming or the flutes, a very strong musical and a rhythm. For me, I found quite relaxing. And so I would just close my eyes, listening to the music. And when I first started to try to meditate, it was only like maybe anywhere between 3 to 5 minutes. That was it. That was all I could do. But that was enough for me to close my eyes, to slow my breathing down, like breathing in nice and slow for 4 and out for 4, to really just feel the music, to calm, let that music, the beat of the music flow through your body. And it really helped me to slow my mind down. So meditation is really just about slowing the mind. And when my mind was still, that's when I could I noticed that my guides were then showing me different things as well. Often I would go to the beach or somewhere like that I found quite peaceful and relaxing. And that's where my guides would start showing me different images. Okay, so that's another way of communicating or starting to communicate with your guides. The next way is actually by using oracle cards and doing, you might like to have fun. I mean, the oracle, there's so many out there, and maybe just doing an oracle card reading, like pulling one card a day and setting the intention, okay, I'm pulling a card that's coming from my guides for what I need to know right now. So you're shuffling the cards, you're whatever card, it might jump out of the deck, it might be at the bottom of the deck, and then you can read the book and get the message from your guides directly. And another way to start communicating with your guides is actually through journaling. Some people call it automatic writing, journaling. There's a lot of different names for this. For me, this was a practice that I decided to do every day for 2 weeks. And it would only take 5 minutes because I wasn't getting very many messages. And this was the quickest way that I actually built my communication bond. I was doing all the others that I've spoken about today, but this really enhanced it quite quickly. So what I would do is I would sit down at a table and have my piece of paper and my pen. And before I started, I would just say in my mind, okay, I'm asking my guides, please come and communicate with me. And then I would just start writing my name over and over. So I didn't want to lift the pen off the paper. And that's what I did. It felt like I was sitting there being stupid, writing my name for like a minute with no response. And then I would hear in my head, it was like someone was talking in my brain, words. So I would just start writing the words. Now, the first time I did this, I probably only had one sentence. It might have been 4 or 5 words that I wrote down, and that was it. That's all I got. And then it went dead quiet, like, hello, is anyone in there? There was no response. And then the next day I went back again. Got my exercise book out. I turned to the second page, I put the date, and then I started writing my name over and over and over, waiting for my guides. And then eventually something would come in my mind. And so I think the second day I probably wrote 2 or 3 sentences. And then the third day I went to a new page, wrote the date, and started writing even more. And so for me, I could really, when my ego kicked in and I started to tell myself, oh, this is stupid, this is sucks, why are you bothering? You're just making it up, it's all in your head. I could really see the evidence in my book by looking at all the pages that I was actually each day writing more and more as well. And so by the end of the 2 weeks, I was actually writing like an A4 size paper that was full. And I was also able to ask questions because I had like 100 questions that I wanted answers to there and then. So I actually started with, I'd write my name over and over and over. And then I'd wait to hear something from my guides, and then I would write a question and then write the answer, then write another question, write an answer, write another question and write an answer. And so this, I just loved, and I still love the journaling because it's a good way to, if you have lots of questions in your mind and you want specific answers, journaling will really help you get those answers. But it takes time to build up to the questions. And what I noticed by the end of the 2 weeks is throughout the day, I was starting to hear them as well, just at random times when I would be doing my grocery shopping and I'd hear them in my head, or having a shower, just really totally random when I think I was just so relaxed and open that I could hear what they were saying. But I really, by the end of that 2 weeks, while I was writing, at times I even went into like a trance, because at the end of the day, I'd come back and reread what I had written, and I couldn't even remember writing most of it as well. So, but even by the end of the 2 weeks, the writing was probably only about 15-20 minutes. So this is the writing or journaling or automatic writing definitely is not an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours. It's very short and quick. If you've already loved writing and it's part of your morning process, then maybe you will be able to pick up the communication with your guides and a lot easier, a lot quicker or faster. So this totally depends on whether you're already doing writing or whether you've already got a bit of a communication bond with your guides, and how quickly you're moving through your spiritual growth and awakening process as well. Then the next one, I'm just thinking, so I've done the talking, synchronicities, the numbers, the meditation, the oracle cards, and the journaling. Yay, 6. Fabulous. So these are all really great ways that you can start to build up your communication bond with your guides. And remember, with all of these things, and especially with the journaling, as much effort as you put in and make it become part of your morning routine, the faster you're going to see results. So if you only talk to your guides once a week, or you only journal once a week, it's going to take a long time to build this bond. So the more that you can try, even if you just try to do this 5 days out of the 7, you're going to quickly build up your bond. And you'll also see with the oracle cards, through doing this regularly, that you'll then be able to eventually get to the point where you're looking at the card and you're recognizing what the meaning is. And then when you open the book, you'll be like, oh, I thought that came into my head. So your other skills, your other intuition and your other clairs will also build and grow as you're doing all of these 6 steps to build up your communication bond. Okay, so my name's Leanne Sheargold. I actually do healings, but I've also started working in the spiritual business coaching. And so that's my passion, and that's my mission and my calling. I love helping other women who have a goal or a dream, or to make a business, or they feel like there's got to be more to life than this. Or perhaps they've started a business and it's just not getting out there and it's big, or it hasn't taken off to what they thought it would. That's where I love working with women. And part of my helping them grow their business is also about helping them connect to their intuition, connect to their guides, really coming back to their heart center and listening to what makes them happy. What activities in their life do they love doing, and what activities do we go, oh my God, I can't believe I've got to go do that. And so I really help empower women to say no to those things and not go, just to come back to their heart center, but also building a bond and a relationship with their guides and integrating that into their life and having a balanced and happy lifestyle. So below this, I will share with you my website. And also I have a spiritual Facebook page called Pure Joy Sisterhood. And I also have my spiritual business coaching page called Leanne Sheargold, My Sacred Contract. So please look out for those links. Feel free to join those groups. I'd love you all to become part of my tribe in the spiritual group or in the business coaching group. And check out my website and see if we could work together. So I look forward to talking to you all in the future. And please subscribe and have a lovely day. Bye-bye.